I'm a little late to making this, and that's because I got the flu right at the end of February and had it until like the very end of last week, and actually I'm still kind of getting over it. But here are the rest of my February reads. The first book I finished in February was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. My coworker lent me this, and one night I stayed up 3 hours and just finished like the back 2/3 of it because I'd only read 1/3. I really liked this book. I enjoyed it. I was super into it. I was wanting to know what happened next. I loved the ending. I loved it. I was smiling so hard when the twist came, and I love when women get revenge. So beautiful, absolutely great. I'm excited to read the sequel. My coworker also lent me that one. I haven't started it yet. The second book I finished in February was The Lines We Cross by Rhonda Abdel Fattah. This book is by a award-winning author and former attorney, an expert on Islamophobia in Australia. I really enjoyed this book. She wrote from two perspectives, from a oh my god, Afghani girl's perspective that had moved to Australia after violence in Afghanistan, and from an Australian boy's perspective who was the son of a right-wing like group that was anti-immigrants or anti-immigrants coming the wrong way, or how they always say it, you know, how they act about it. And it was about both of them kind of like being interested in each other. There was a romantic plot there, but also they talked and got to know each other, and they both liked the same kind of music, and they changed each other in good ways. And like he became more progressive and even stood up against his parents, and his parents were actually like not awful, which is crazy to say as right-wing people, but it's a scary thing about right-wing people is that like, interpersonally a lot of times they are pretty good at that shit, and it's terrifying. But they were truly not like the people in America who are anti-immigrant. They were a little bit different. However, I still disagree with like everything they said. But they were both, he changed his views, and it wasn't just because of her. Like he like learned and like had to come to grasps with like different things about himself, and I loved that. And then she felt very betrayed by him multiple times, and the ending line of this book is so good. It actually changed the way I think about people, because I've had a hard time with accepting when people are like not holding great values or views. The last lines of this book are, "He thinks he's learned from me. He's wrong. It's me who's learned from him. He's taught me to never give up on anybody." So I really liked this book. And then she felt very betrayed by him multiple times, and the ending line of this book is so good. It actually changed the way I think about people, because I've had a hard time with accepting when people are like not holding great values or views. The last lines of this book are, "He thinks he's learned from me. He's wrong. It's me who's learned from him. He's taught me to never." The third book I read this February was Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I didn't write this. I read this for Fantasy Book Club. I didn't care for it. I found it kind of boring, and I thought the romance subplot was not very believable, and the world building felt underdeveloped. I didn't know what the world looked like. I just didn't like it that much. I finished it because I like agreed to go to book club with a friend, and I read it, and I felt like finishing it was kind of a chore. I'm not super excited about like reading a sequel, so this just wasn't for me, I think. The fourth book I finished this February was Listen Layla by Yasmin Abdel, oh that's backwards, Magid. I hope I said that right. This one was really good. It was about a Sudanese Australian girl, so another immigrant story, and she was supposed to be part of an inventors team, and she had to go back to Sudan because her grandmother was sick, and she ended up learning a lot about what was going on in Sudan. I think this took place, I remember what year it was in the book, but the author wrote it. She wrote this down. She wrote the first draft of it in 2018 and 19 during the Sudanese uprising, so I'm pretty sure it's based in that time. And it was about her learning like how the government is hurting her people back in Sudan, and she had a great breakthrough about how to make things better because she was very focused on getting to her inventor team and maybe going on a trip to Germany for it. There was some devastating stuff in this book. I got very emotional when bad things happened, but I would say that this does have a pretty happy ending, and nobody does die, so that's good news. But yeah, this is a good book. I checked out The Charmed List by Julie Aid from the library. I finished this maybe the second to last weekend of February. It's a really cute story about these two people who were best friends as children who have to like have a forced proximity road trip. They are both witchy, like magical. It's kind of low fantasy, like it exists in the world of the Bay Area of California, but below, like not like below, like not underneath, but it's kept quiet that magic exists. But really super cool, cute book. I was very obsessed. I started to like really enjoy the what's the word? The banter and oh my god, my brain is not working. Again, I said I'm stuck over the flu. But the compatibility between the two, the way they talked and everything, it was a really enjoyable book. Another book I read was Woman World. This is by Aminder Dhaliwal, this is a graphic novel, and it is about if men went extinct and like the world without men in it, and it's very interesting because like there is some like things that are obviously made different that are like not great, but the way that the women interact with each other is so interesting. It makes me I want to know more about the world building of this. Like reading it was very entertaining. I would highly recommend it. And the next book I read, I actually completely forgot to make a video of it before I lent it to my sister, so I don't have the physical book to show you, but I read The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. The second book, I already read The Housemaid in February too, but I think I like the sequel better because I found The Housemaid to be predictable. I had a feeling that who the villain ended up being, I knew it was going to be the villain from the beginning. But reading this one, I had no clue who the villain was. Like this was more twisty to me. I liked it. I loved it. I'm excited to read the short story in between and the third book.